I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life.
Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs. Now, you can be a freak and it's not illegal, but you can't force people to do shit. And this is what I'm getting at. When you have a lot of money and you have no accountability and you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever the fuck you want to do it.
In recent months, Sean Diddy Combs, the renowned music mogul, has been embroiled in a series of legal challenges. The most notable development is the resignation of his long-standing legal representation, Grubman, Shire, Meiselas Sacks, a powerhouse Manhattan law firm that had represented Combs for over 2 decades. This decision was reportedly made due to mounting misconduct allegations against Combs, which the firm felt necessitated their withdrawal.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Meiselas Sacks has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way,
there's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof before you go down that route.
The allegations against Combs have been both numerous and severe. Attorney Tony Buzbee, representing several alleged victims, has stated that his team has received approximately 3,000 calls since a news conference in October, with potential cases against Combs numbering in the hundreds. Buzbee estimates that realistically, about 100 to 150 cases may proceed, with allegations spanning a 20-year period and involving both men and women.
There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit.
This evening, more accusers have come forward against hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs with sexual misconduct allegations. Today, Houston attorney Tony Buzbee announced he plans to file at least 120 individual lawsuits. Busbee's law firm and the AVA Law Group vetted claims and are now representing 60 women and 60 men. This includes 25 who say they were minors at the time of the alleged misconduct that spanned over 3 decades.
There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less.
One particularly alarming allegation involves a woman who claims that Combs misconducted her in a hotel room in 2004 when she was a 19-year-old college student. Another involves an aspiring young musician who alleges that Combs intoxicated him and forced him to perform highly inappropriate acts when he was just 10 years old. Combs has denied all charges, labeling the accusations as sickening and attributing them to individuals seeking a quick payday.
When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of.
Rachel Kennedy claims the footage was playing on a continuous loop in Diddy's Tokyo hotel room during the 2000 interaction, and further alleged that the rapper was on the phone with J-Lo, whom he was dating at the time. Rachel said on the Daily Mail's The Trial of Diddy podcast that she found the entire situation quite odd, and further described it as creepy and disrespectful. Rachel and her two friends had been invited to Diddy's room for a party after meeting him at a topless club in Japan. She and her friends were expecting to just attend a party, but Diddy was alone in his room when they arrived. She claims they then engaged in a consensual sexual encounter. Jennifer Lopez has yet to comment on Diddy's legal trouble.
You freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff. I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them.
The legal proceedings have been further complicated by the resignation of U.S. Attorney Damian Williams, who was leading the prosecution against Combs. Williams announced his resignation on November 25, 2024, a move that has raised concerns about potential delays in the case. Legal experts fear that his departure could slow down the momentum of the trial, which is scheduled to begin in May 2025.
Given President-elect Trump has tapped Jay Clayton as Manhattan's top federal prosecutor, Damian Williams announced his resignation today. Williams is the first black U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, and he says that he'll leave his post December 13th. During his tenure, he oversaw several high-profile cases, including the convictions of former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and also former FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Williams' office also indicted Mayor Eric Adams on bribery charges and music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on sex trafficking charges.
Manhattan U.S. Attorney Damian Williams announced resignation from office. He is stepping down. I'm trying to tell y'all, this Diddy case is making a lot of people step down.
Adding to the complexity, there have been reports of other high-profile individuals being implicated in the allegations against Combs. One lawsuit filed in New York in October alleges that a 13-year-old girl was misconducted by a man identified as Celebrity A at one of Combs' parties, while Combs and a woman named as Celebrity B watched. The plaintiff later identified Celebrity A as rap legend Jay-Z, who has vehemently denied the claims, describing them as provably, demonstrably false.
A woman has accused Jay-Z of raping her at an after-party for the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards when she was 13 years old. But attorney Alex Spiro says the allegations are, quote, all a fantasy. CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister has the latest from New York.
Jay-Z's attorney is doubling down on a denial that his client ever raped a 13-year-old girl. Now, Jay-Z has already fiercely denied these accusations, and his legal team has already asked the court to dismiss this case entirely. But now, for the first time speaking to reporters since these accusations came out,
Sean Diddy Combs of raping a 13-year-old more than 20 years ago. The alleged incident happened back in 2000 at an MTV Video Music Awards after party. Cardi immediately came out swinging in his defense, of course, saying criminal charges should be filed against anyone who would commit such a heinous crime. His defense attorneys also filed motions to name the victim, who is now 38 years old, or to drop the suit altogether. Meanwhile, Carter's lead attorney, Alex Spiro, pointed out inconsistencies in the alleged victim's story, who sat down with NBC News last week in an exclusive interview.
The public response to these developments has been significant. Combs' reputation has suffered, with New York City Mayor Eric Adams revoking his key to the city following the emergence of a leaked video showing Combs engaging in violent behavior towards his ex-partner. Additionally, Combs' social media presence has been notably diminished, with reports indicating that he has scrubbed his Instagram account.
He already has the keys to some pretty exclusive places, and now Sean Diddy Combs can add New York City to that list. It's Diddy Day in the city. Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the mayor and the artist.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the just recognizing me, being from New York, giving me the key to the city. Diddy finally has the key to the city!
Today's event coincides with the release of his new album, The Love Album, Off the Grid.
The legal battles have also seen contentious courtroom dynamics. In one instance, a federal judge ordered prosecutors not to use papers taken from Combs's jail cell until a ruling is made on defense claims, highlighting the procedural complexities involved in the case.
According to the defense, they're legal documents. The government saying no, on the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes and a calendar. And what the judge did, Judge Subramanian, is he ordered the prosecution to destroy their copies. He kept copies, and he's going to review them in chambers or in camera. And one of two things will happen. Either the defense is right, and those are privileged materials, in which case they will not go to the prosecution, or the prosecution is right, and they have nothing to do with the legal case, and the government will get copies. It's only 20 pages. I don't think it'll take the judge that long. But I think the media is reporting this as some huge win for the defense because the government has to destroy their copies.
Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, argued that the seizure represented a complete institutional failure and described the cell search as a pretext to target Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs. He explained that the documents included handwritten notes with instructions for his legal defense, as well as a things-to-do list that raised eyebrows for its controversial contents.
Today, just a little bit ago, Mark Agnifilo, his expert lawyer, filed paperwork with this same judge accusing the feds of wrongdoing. They claim that Puff's civil rights were violated after his jail cell was recently raided and a bunch of materials were taken from that. Materials that his lawyer claimed were attorney-client privilege.
According to the defense, this list contained instructions to a family member to find dirt on 2 alleged victims. Also among the seized documents were personal pages filled with inspirational quotes that Diddy had written for self-motivation. These notes were not only privileged, but critical to Mr. Combs's ability to mount a fair defense. Agnifilo argued, this breach violates his constitutional rights and jeopardizes the integrity of this case.
But Mark, his lawyer, says lots of personal items were seized, including messages between Diddy and his lawyers. In other words, items that were subject to attorney-client privilege. Handwritten notes to his lawyers concerning defense witnesses and defense strategies, which were absolutely privileged. The attorney argues that taking them violates Diddy's 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights.
As the situation continues to unfold, the entertainment industry and the public at large are closely monitoring the proceedings. The allegations against Combs, coupled with the resignation of his legal team and the involvement of other high-profile individuals, have created a complex and evolving legal scenario. The upcoming trial, scheduled for May 2025, is expected to shed further light on the allegations and the defense's response.
Developing at 5, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs back inside a federal courtroom here in New York.
All right, a trial date's now been set for May 5th of next year. Lisa Evers live in Lower Manhattan with the very latest today. Lisa.
Well, Stephen, Natasha, this was Sean Diddy Combs' 3rd time in the courthouse you see right behind me, his 1st time before a new judge. They did handle these calendar matters and also set that May 5th, 2025 date for the trial to begin. But what was most striking...
As the trial date in May approaches, this appearance will likely provide more insights into the case and any developments regarding the charges of racketeering and trafficking. Observers will be keen to see how Diddy and his legal team prepare for the challenges ahead during this interim period.
A U.S. judge has ruled that the rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male sex workers across state lines to take part in recorded sexual performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence. David Willis reports.
Legal experts doubt P. Diddy's trial will proceed as scheduled in May, given the complexities surrounding the case. The involvement of multiple underage victims necessitates a thorough investigation to ensure their protection and credibility, which often extends the legal process. Gathering sufficient evidence, corroborating testimonies, and addressing potential legal motions from the defense could cause delays. Additionally, the high-profile nature of the case, with widespread media attention and intricate legal strategies, further complicates matters.
You think that there's no way this trial is then going to happen in May?
It's unlikely, especially if there's a superseding indictment involving minors, because minors present a completely different set of circumstances. Because we know through his lawyers, Combs is arguing that the sexual activity happened, but it was consensual. Of course, for sex trafficking, you need one of those three elements: force, fraud, or coercion. Obviously, minors cannot consent to any sexual activity, so that would be a very different defense entirely. The defense would have to be that the activity didn't happen at all and the individuals are lying. So I think that's going to be the potential game changer if we do get the minors wrapped up into a superseding indictment. And we know, at least if you believe the civil attorneys, there are 25 minor victims, one of which is as young as 9.
And those suits haven't been filed yet.
In the meantime, the case has sparked broader discussions about accountability and misconduct within the entertainment industry. The sheer number of allegations and the prominence of the individuals involved have underscored the importance of addressing such issues transparently and justly. As more information emerges, it will be crucial to observe how the legal system navigates these challenges and what implications the outcomes may have for industry practices moving forward.
So you think he did none of these things? He was never present in any of these activities? This wasn't his lifestyle?
But a lifestyle and being present in activities doesn't mean he committed a crime.
Unless those activities and that lifestyle are criminal.
But those activities and the lifestyle is not criminal. What was notable today, what my partner Mark said in court, is they never once said that these women didn't consent to what happened. Not once.
Can they all have consented, or were they minors and therefore the consent doesn't apply?
No charges relating to minors. None. None. The difference here between R. Kelly, between Epstein, no charges relating to minors.
So this is all adult consensual activity. People can judge it morally, but legally, you believe he committed no crime.
Maybe it's not what someone here would do in the bedroom, but that doesn't mean that what he did was a crime.
What do you think about the shocking developments in Diddy's case and the impact it might have on the entertainment industry? Share your opinions in the comments below.